There we go. And let's pull up Mendeley. There we go. So here's the Mendeley interface. And generally what I do is, depending upon the project that I'm working on, I'll create a folder for that specific project. So on the left side for my library, all documents just includes all the articles that I've input into Mendeley. And I didn't generally input them myself manually. What I did is I'll import them from a database that the library houses, okay? And so I'll show you kind of how to do that in just a minute. But to create your own folder, you can just right-click on the all documents and then select new folder and then create a folder. And I already created a folder yesterday because we went through this yesterday in the lab called Soil pH SS423. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to import all the articles that are pertinent to the experiment that we're working on now into that folder. Okay, so here's kind of the Mendeley interface. I'll let you kind of play around with that, but again, it's just an inventory of your own references. Sometimes the articles that you get will have a PDF version of the article that's attached to these references, and sometimes they don't. So sometimes those PDFs will automatically go into Mendeley, and other times they won't. It just depends. So the next thing that we're going to do then is go to the library's website through, and if you're logging in off campus, then you need to log in through the Cal Poly portal. So you click on this link here for library, and you'll have to log into the system in order to access it. And the interfaces are a little bit different depending upon how you do it, but the thing that you want are databases, okay? And let me show you that it looks a little bit different if you log in straight on Cal Poly. So when you log in from a computer that's on campus and you log into the library, this is the interface that you get. And so where you're going to go here is search and find, and you go to databases. And so the first question that I might have for you is, what's your favorite database? Do you have one? So Science Direct is a good one. Some of you may use Agricola, some maybe use GeoRef, right? For those of you who are really interested in geology, probably use GeoRef. My favorite one that is my go-to is Web of Science. Web of Science is really a pretty robust and complete database for environmental science and soil science. So I'll select that one. And it's kind of similar to Google, except for it's more robust and more complete. So Google Scholar has a search capacity associated with it, but it's not as good as the search capacity associated with a library database. And the library databases are surveys of a bunch of scientific literature in, that's organized topically by author, by keyword, by year published, etc. So you can search, you have a lot of capacity to search a bunch of things to really refine the articles that you gain. So we'll do a quick search on soil pH. I'll add a row, and maybe I'll see if I can find anything about 0.01 molar calcium chloride associated with pH. Maybe I'll do another one that has something to do with 1 molar KCl. And I could put in some more search terms like deionized water. I could put in tropical soil if I wanted to. Let's just try that. We don't need to, but we could do that. And then I can search it. Notice here that I could search titles of the journal or of the article itself, the author, publication name, etc. So if you wanted to refine that stuff, you could. So I'll search and see what we get. And you can see that my search is pretty narrow because I only came up with 3 different articles. So we got magnesium in tropical and subtropical soils from northeastern Australia, magnesium fractions. And so that's probably not too relevant, but I can view the abstract and see. You'll notice that the keywords that I put in my search are going to be highlighted in the abstract. So that's helpful in kind of narrowing down my search. The second one, sulfate retention by kaolinitic alpha salts from Nigerian savanna. I'm not sure if that one is any good or not, but I could take a look at the abstract, and it says something about 3 electrolyte solutions of calcium chloride, potassium chloride, sodium chloride at 3 ionic strengths. So that does have something to do with what we did. So that might be a good article. And then this last one, interrelations between soil pH measurements and various electrolytes and soil solution pH in acidic soils. That's pretty much right down the alley of what we did. So I'm going to select both of those. And what I want to do is add these to my marked list. Okay? So what we do then is when you do a bunch of different searches, then you can create a list of the ones that you selected that are specific and pertinent to you. And so I'll add that to the marked list. And once they're added to the marked list, I can go to my marked list there. And now what I can do is import these into my Mendeley database. Okay? And in order to do that, you have to put an add-on onto your web browser. And it looks like this right here. It's called the Mendeley Web Importer. So you can just get that by doing a Google search, and it'll download the Mendeley Web Importer into your web browser. And so what this is going to do is it's going to scan the screen and look for references. And once it finds those references, it's going to take all the information about those references and organize it into a format that Mendeley can interpret. And then from that, you upload it into your Mendeley web account. So it goes up into your Mendeley web account, and then you can go to Mendeley Desktop and sync Mendeley Desktop with your web account, and then it'll be onto your computer. Okay, so it's kind of like a couple-step process, but it's pretty fast. So I'll just click on this. And sometimes it recognizes them easily, and other times it doesn't recognize them. So if it doesn't recognize them, they're not going to come up. And if it's a good article for you, then you're going to need to put it in manually into Mendeley. So I'm going to select both of those. And I want to make sure that the folder that it's going to put it into is my soil pH SS423 folder. Right, so I'm organized. So you can select whatever folder you've created and you just click add. And so it'll do that. And now I'm going to go back to Mendeley. And I'm going to hit sync. And it should sync it. Let's see. There was a problem connecting to Mendeley.com to sync your library. Access is disabled. So I know that Lillian over here had trouble accessing the Mendeley website, so it's possible that their website is having some difficulties now. I don't know if that's the case or not. But anyway, the way to get the information that you just got, right, from the database is to sync it, and it'll pop it into the folder that you wanted. Okay, the last bit that I'm going to show you is kind of the fun bit, and that is that you can, how are we doing on time? A couple minutes? 2 minutes. We can do it. 2 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to show you right now is how you can, as you're writing, import references directly from Mendeley. So let's just say that soil pH, I'm just going to make a statement, soil pH was higher in salt or in water relative to salt solutions. Okay, and I want to import some citations into there. So what I'm going to do is use a Mendeley tool, and if you click on the references tab within Microsoft Word, you have to download this Mendeley Cytomatic. So you get that from Mendeley as well, and you can go to Insert Citation, and you can go to Mendeley. It'll open up this window. You go to Mendeley, and I'm going to select this one, and this one. And then you click Cite, and it'll put them in the right format. And then wait a second for this. You can go to make your own references list, and you go to Insert Bibliography. Is everyone sitting down? Yeah. Are you sitting down in 239? Because you're going to fall over if you're not. What? Right? It creates a reference list in the format that you want. And the format that we're looking at here is Soil Science Society of America format. We could change it to the APSA format like that. Or I could go to Chicago manual style, whatever, right? Right? Awesomeness, huh? Anyway, a quick tutorial, right, on how to do it. But again, make sure the style that you choose here is Soil Science Society of America style, because that's the one that we're going to use. And as you're walking out with your minds blown, let me just show you this, that in the View menu up here in Mendeley Desktop, this is where you pick your citation style, okay? And the default is not Soil Science Society of America. So you have to go to More Styles to pick the right one, okay? All right, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.